good afternoon, my lovely friends, and happy Friday. It's the 12th of February today, and I hope you're all doing really well. It has been such a long time since I last vlogged, and I'm feeling a little bit, because I'm kind of like out of practice kind of thing, so I'm feeling a little bit shy. It's been a while since I last said hi. Lots of things have been happening. There's lots and lots to catch you up on, but all in good time. We won't do it all at once. I'll sort of space it out during the vlog. But happy news, I have the next 3 days off of work, and I'm so happy I've got the weekend off. So I am kind of hoping and planning to spend a little bit of time doing some sewing. I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't been vlogging, because my sewing mojo has just gone out of the window. I mean, I did my little bee block in my last vlog, and that's all I've done this year. I've just lost my motivation, and I'm really quite sad about it. But over the past week, I have been sort of getting it back. It's sort of been slowly sort of like trickling back in. So when it has been, I've been like, yes, grab it and do something. During the week, I started to do some little scrappy cross blocks. I don't know really what to call them. I did share them on Instagram. It's these things up here. I did do this quilt here. This is still the quilt top of all of my colourful scraps in my collection. Now we're moving on to the monochrome sort of prints, so all my black and white prints and grey sort of scale prints, because I didn't really quite have room to sort of fit them in my first quilt. So I thought, let's do just a whole quilt full of black and white and grey blocks. So that's what we're going to try and get sort of like a groove on to make. So I spent another afternoon just cutting out some pieces and getting myself sort of prepared to do some sewing. So I think we might try and do some sewing this afternoon. I still am going to try and do a lot of my Winterville quilt. It's still sitting here on my sewing desk, and also the Liberty Spring Flowers quilt, that's where I'm doing all those little applique petals. So yeah, a couple of quilts on the go. I still have my colourful cross quilt here to quilt, and then another big star quilt top that I finished last year as well. So there's lots to do. It's just getting the motivation to do it. I can't complain about time all that much anymore because my roster at work has changed. So I am sort of working a little bit less, and the days that I am working, they're not full days, they're only half days. I do have some time back, so I'm trying my best on those sort of days to just not sort of get stuck in a rut of just coming home and just sitting down and just watching TV and eating, which has been a bit of a bad habit that I've fallen into. So I'm trying to like get myself out of that, and on those afternoons when I've come home from work, I'll try and do a little bit of sewing, or if I've vlogged, do a little bit of editing. So yeah, it's just trying to get into a new routine with a new work roster and all that sort of stuff, and then also working around home as well. Before I go on, you're possibly all itching to know, hopefully, I don't know. For those of you who are wondering about Graham, he is okay. He came out of hospital a week ago today. There was just a few little setbacks that he had to get through, and yeah, he's not 100%, but he's better than what he was. So yeah, he's home and he's doing well. Thank you to everyone for all of your lovely wishes and for checking in and seeing how he is. So yeah, he's good. Well, my friends, it is now the evening, and I actually didn't end up doing any sewing this afternoon because motivation. Let's be honest, I had no motivation, and I let myself get distracted by other things. But I made a promise to myself that I would do some sewing today, so I'm in my sewing room this evening, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some sewing, and I don't know whether you can hear it, but it is raining outside, and the one thing that I love to do the most when it's raining outside is to sew. So it's kind of like meant to be, I suppose. I do have to admit, it is very humid though, because we did have a hot day today, and with the rain brings humidity. So with that being said, my hair is going to have to go up. Hair is up. I have a nice big liter of water here to sip on, and we're going to do some sewing. Let's do it. Instead of talking about it, let's just do it. We're working on these little guys. I'm doing black and grey scale blocks. So let's make some blocks. Sunday. It is the 14th of February. It's Valentine's Day. You wouldn't believe it, but today I woke up with the need to sew. So today is going to be a sewing day and I'm very excited. I'm just currently cutting up some more scraps because I'm beginning to run out of the white background fabric, and my choices in the fabric scraps that I'm using are starting to get a little bit low, so I've just taken some time to press them all out, ready to cut them all up, and I'm chopping them all down to a 2.5 inch square if any of you are interested. And then the finished size of the blocks that I'm making, you can see here, are 6.5, so they fit this set square ruler that I have, which is 6.5. This is the lovely pile of black and white and grey fabrics that I pressed this morning to now add to my lovely pile of squares here. So I'm going to start cutting them up and add them to my selection. Bit of a success. As you can see, I've done a couple more blocks. Oh, it looks really good. I think I did another 4 blocks. I don't know, I lost count. But I'm really happy with the progress so far. Here's a little bit more of a close-up of what we're working with. I'm really happy with it. Yeah. So I'm kind of going for like an alternate sort of pattern, so blacks, greys, kind of thing. I have to admit I am finding it a little bit difficult placing them in a way that looks pleasing and that you can kind of tell that it's like greys and blacks, because they're all sort of mixing in with each other. So I keep having to like sort of step back and blow my eyes and make sure it sort of works. And because I'm using such busy prints, it's busy, but I don't mind that. I quite like the clash of all the different prints and stuff, so yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm not sure how big it's going to be because I do have all of these squares here, but I've only got a couple more fabric scraps to cut up, and I don't really want to be cutting into like meterage fabric. The whole point of making these like quilts with the plus scraps is to use up all my scraps and not to cut into anything that I don't need to cut into. So I only have a few left in my bag full of scraps, so yeah, I don't know how big this is going to be. I'm possibly thinking just like tiny little lap size type thing, I think. Yeah. And I'm going to say it now, both of these quilts, once they're done, I think I'm actually going to sell them because I don't need them. I've got lots of quilts that I love, and yeah, I mean, these are just quilts that I'm just making just to get rid of scraps and stuff, so I'm pretty sure I will sell. I know the black and grey one I'll sell, but I'm just looking at the colourful one now and I actually really quite love it. It's just here on my little stool and it's so pretty. I just love all the fabrics in it and stuff. But see, this is my problem when I make quilts. I get attached to them and I don't want to get rid of them. So I just end up with like a pile of quilts that I just don't use. Although I love them, I don't use them. I just gotta try not to get attached to these and yeah, try and think that if I sell them, they'll be going to a nice loving home where they'll be used and loved. So yeah. Am I the only one that has this problem? Tell me. Surely not. Good evening, my friends, and happy Tuesday. It's the something of February, the 16th of February, and I hope you're doing well. I thought to end this vlog, I would do a little bit of a spotlight haul. So a little bit of an update regarding work. I think I mentioned a little bit about this like during the weekend, but my work hours have changed, my roster has changed. So now I'm working different days. For the last 6 months I've been doing e-com, which is fulfilling all of our online orders and picking them and then packing them ready to be picked up by the postman. But at the beginning of the year, rosters were changing, contracts are changing, and I requested to go back in to the fabrics department. So now I'm back where I've always been, which is the department where we have all of the fabrics, so all of the quilting fabrics and apparel fabrics, where we have all haberdashery stuff and sewing machines and all that sort of stuff. So I'm back now in that department at Spotlight, which is where I work. So now that I'm back in, we call it the dress department, I've been buying some fabrics and I want to show them to you. The other reason why I have been sort of, I don't want to say forcing myself to buy them, but just sort of encouraging myself to buy them, because I've just lost my motivation. My sewing mojo has just gone out the window. So I thought if I buy some fabrics, you know, maybe I might just get a little bit of a hint, a little bit of a, I don't know, spark of joy, spark of inspiration to get back into the sewing room. It is very, very slowly coming back, as I've been saying over the weekend. So I'm sort of happy that I can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's still not there. I'm still not 100%. It's like I've got a sickness or something. I don't know. Is losing your sewing mojo as a, you know, an intense quilter, is it a sickness? I don't know. But anyway, enough of me chatting. Let's get into the haul. Oh my gosh, there is so much fabric and stuff in here, and I'm so excited by it all. The first thing I'm actually going to start off with is a lovely, lovely parcel that I got in my PO box from one of my lovely viewers. Her name is Carol. She's in the US. Can I remember, are you from, is it Delaware? I'm going to have to look at that. But Carol, thank you so much for sending me out this really lovely, very generous gift. I absolutely love it, and if you don't mind, I'm going to share it with everyone. So Carol sent me this beautiful London Fat Quarter bundle from the Fat Quarter shop. The range is by Whistler Studios for Windtan Fabrics, and it's these beautiful London Fat Quarter prints, and I absolutely love them. Thank you so much, and I really, really, truly appreciate you sending this to me. So I'm going to stash this away with all my other beautiful London/UK fabrics. I'm going to have to keep a lookout for a pattern that is worthy of this. So yeah. Thank you so much. Moving on to my lovely Spotlight purchases. We had an amazing sale on quilting fabrics about a week, 2 weeks ago, where we had just like assorted quilting prints or quilting fabrics for $5 a meter, when usually they'd like retail for $16 to $20. So the sale was amazing. And a lot of our regular customers came in and bought lots of fabric, and we're really happy about it. I got in on the excitement, and so I bought a few things. I don't feel too guilty about spending too much money, because at $5 a meter, you can't go wrong. So sometimes when we get like assorted quilting prints, it's just a lot of random designer prints that, I don't know, Spotlight somehow seem to either purchase, I mean like they're purchasing people, I don't know, but they somehow seem to acquire these beautiful named fabrics by big American designers and just, I don't know, have them in our shop for some reason. So this first fabric is by Riley Blake, which is insane. It's from the range called Safari Party by, I can only read Melissa, but it is the cutest zebra print. Is that the right way? There we go. This is the print, so it's this really nice, lovely mint green, and it's got the cutest little zebras on it. And they're either wearing party hats or have flower crowns or glasses. Like, they're really, really quite cute, quirky prints. So this one, I think I got about 4 meters or whatever was left on the roll, because that's going to make the most sweetest backing fabric. You know, at $5 a meter, $20 for a backing is really, really good. This spotty one is another Riley Blake. This is from the range called Dots by the Riley Blake designers. It's from 2012, so it's quite an old sort of pattern, but it's just some really nice fun spots, which I think is really quite cute. I think maybe I got 1 meter, 2 meters, but enough to do something with. The next one is a really cool black and white spotty type fabric. This one is by RJR Fabrics. It is from a range called What's Bugging You by Sue Marsh, circa 2013. So it's almost like that pebbly type print, or even like a bug print maybe. Maybe that's why it's called What's Bugging You. I don't know. I just liked it because it was black and white and spotty, and that's kind of like my jam. I vibe with this sort of fabric. So the next couple are all sort of like they're the same print. Oh look, my receipt. Alright, so a meter. Most of these are a meter. So these, there's a mask sandwiched in between those fabrics. Okay, that's cool. I brought these back in the time where wearing masks at work was compulsory. It's not anymore because we don't have a lot of COVID cases in New South Wales. I think at the moment we are 30 days COVID free. So there's no community nobody in the community, as of what we know, has COVID-19. So we're doing pretty well. And our vaccines have just arrived, so that's cool as well. Anyway, back to the fabrics. These next 5 are all the same print, but they're all different colorways. I've tried to like make them look all fancy, but I'm not doing a very good job. So it's just these really beautiful high floral type prints with a few little colors through it. And then we've got like a deepy green type one, and then this last one is like a really cute little pink. I love these prints. On the selvage it says Rose and Hubble Fabrics. We get a lot of Rose and Hubble prints at Spotlight, and they're usually really lovely, high floral, beautiful colours. I do have another floral one from Rose and Hubble. I really love this one. The greens and the purples and the blues and the pinks. Oh, it's just gorgeous. I think that'll look really nice, like paired up with some nice solids in a nice sort of like star block. I can see it in a star block. And then last of the cheap quilting fabrics, I got another one. This one is also by Riley Blake. It is from a range called The Simple Life by Tasha Knoll. I don't know, I can't quite read that. But this is from 2012, and it's this really nice, lovely gingham print. So this one I got quite a lot of as well, because I thought that it'd be a really nice backing. Usually for backings I get about 3 meters, but I'm finding the size of the quilts that I've been making lately, 3 meters hasn't been cutting it, so I actually got 4 meters, which means I can do a quilt that's 2 by 2 meters. I know that I'm using like metric measurements, but I sort of, in my quilting practice, it's funny, I was talking to my friend Jess about this the other day. When I'm piecing and cutting and stuff, I use inches, but when I'm measuring a final finished quilt to do the backing and the binding and the batting, I use meters or centimeters, so the metric system. So I use both measuring systems to make my quilt. I don't know whether you really wanted to know that, but I thought that was a nice little sort of like trivial thing about me. The last, oh, another one. Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh, sweet. At the end of January, my mum and I treated my sister-in-law and my niece Amelia to go see Frozen the musical for their birthdays last year. So the earliest show that I could book was at the end of January, just before school started back. So we went and saw that. It was amazing, very magical. If you can go see Frozen the musical in a safe COVID environment, or when COVID's over, I would definitely go see it. It was really, really good. But then the next day I was at work, and we sell frozen fabric. We have a lot of licensed fabrics at work, and one of them is this cute one with Olaf on it, which I just think is super sweet. I don't really mention it very much, but Olaf is one of my favourite characters. I know I have a lot of Buzz and Mickey, but Olaf is like, you know, inching his way in. I think he's so adorable and so innocent and lovely. I really liked Olaf in the second movie. I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, tangent. But yeah, I forgot about that fabric. I think I was going to make like a little wallet or something out of it. So lastly, I got some non-quilting fabric. This is a fabric that we call Mexican poncho. I mean, I don't know whether that's the right thing to call it, but that's what Spotlight have chosen to call it. It's like this highly embroidered sort of poncho type fabric. This is just one of the many type prints that we have, but I've loved this one forever because of the amazing colors in it. It's just so bright and vibrant and fun, and it's actually a lot softer than what you think it would be. So I got the rest of what was on the roll. I think it's like a meter, maybe a little bit more than a meter, and I'm going to make a cushion for the lounge out of it. I also got a zipper to make the pillow out of. And then the last two little things in my bag, I have bought a, oh my gosh, I've forgotten what it's called. I bought a Dresden plate template. Of all of the block tutorials that I have done on my channel, I have not done a Dresden plate. Dresden flower. I haven't done a Dresden flower. It's called a Dresden flower, right? Wow, the more you say it, the weirder it sounds. Dresden flower, Dresden flower. We had our templates on sale, so I picked up one of these. The thing I like about this one is, of course, it's a Sew Easy ruler. I love the Sew Easy rulers. They're really, really great. But it's got all of the measurements on it. You can make it any size you want. You can choose to do the little flower petal, or you can choose to cut it straight and then do the foldy down ones to have a pointy Dresden plate. So I picked that up because it was on sale, and my goal this year is to do more tutorials. I want to do more block tutorials and sort of like crafty tutorials. So I've got that in my arsenal for when I'm ready to do one of those blocks. And then something else for another tutorial that I would like to do, I got some cotton piping cord. This is a pack of 10 meters. I was inspired by a little craft video that I saw on Facebook, and they were making little coily coasters out of fabrics. It's pretty much like those jelly roll rugs where you have your long strip of the jelly roll and then you put the cord in it and then you coil it around by doing a zigzaggy thing. I'm not explaining it very well, but it's essentially that kind of idea, but you're doing it in a smaller version to make a little coaster. That is my haul, my lovely Spotlight haul. I have been going on for like the last half hour. There's lots of things sort of in the works, and hopefully now that roster has changed at work, I now have a little bit more time to do some things. Hopefully we can just get the, you know, I need to give myself a good kick up the butt and just get into it. I need to get out of my head and just do it. That's my motivation for the day. So yes. So with saying that, I'm going to do my best to try and vlog a little bit more and just get on track again, and hopefully just find a little bit of inspiration. Thank you so much for watching and for just being so patient with me, and yeah, just tuning in and watching me just ramble on about whatever. So goodness. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again another time very, very soon, I promise. Bye!